Have you ever truly wondered what it means to live a fulfilling life after turning 70? It's a question that takes on deeper meaning as we reach this remarkable stage. In this video, we'll share 11 transformative things we let go of that have completely reshaped our lives, filling our journey with peace, joy, and a renewed sense of purpose. Whether we're approaching this milestone or have already embraced it, these insights will help us redefine our path, release what no longer serves us, and focus on what truly matters. Stay with us until the end, where we'll explore practical steps to inspire our own transformation, guiding us toward a richer, more meaningful chapter of life. If you haven't already subscribed, we encourage you to hit that subscribe button and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Your support means everything to us. And if you find value in this message, you can help us continue sharing these important lessons by liking and sharing this video with others. Now let's dive in. Turning 70 wasn't just another birthday. It marked a profound shift. A turning point that called us to reflect deeply on our journey and what truly lies ahead. As we cross this threshold, we realize that life at this age is not simply about getting older. It's about stepping into a beautiful transformation. It's a moment to release the habits, mindsets, and patterns we've held on to for far too long. Things that may have served us in the past, but no longer align with who we've become. And in letting go of these things, we've uncovered something truly priceless. A life filled with peace, joy, and a profound sense of purpose. For decades, we may have believed certain things were essential to our identity, deeply woven into the fabric of who we thought we were. Yet, as we embrace this new phase of life, we came to realize just how much emotional baggage we'd been carrying. Baggage that clouded our happiness and kept us from experiencing the true freedom that aging can offer. So, we made the conscious choice to release what was holding us back, to let go of the burdens that weighed us down, and to claim the life we had always dreamed of but never fully allowed ourselves to live. And what we experienced, it was nothing short of miraculous. Our hearts felt lighter, our days brighter, and our sense of purpose clearer than ever. Letting go was about shedding the layers that had been limiting our growth, keeping us tethered to outdated beliefs, fears of judgment, and the pressure to live up to others' expectations. We discovered that true freedom comes when we stop clinging to the past and open ourselves to the endless possibilities that still lie ahead, regardless of our age. For us, reaching 70 wasn't the end of anything. It was the beginning of a journey toward rediscovering our truest selves. For us, reaching 70 wasn't the end of anything. It was the beginning of a journey toward rediscovering our truest selves. It was about choosing joy, tranquility, and fulfillment over the noise of what no longer mattered. And in doing so, we received an extraordinary gift, the ability to live authentically, with more gratitude and more purpose than we ever thought possible. It allowed us to embrace the richness of each and every day, free from the weight of the past. By letting go, we unlocked a life filled with more peace, more joy, and more love than we could have ever imagined. We hope you'll join us in this journey of renewal, one where we're reminded that it's never too late to live fully, authentically, and with purpose. 1. Letting go of working just to stay busy. In our earlier years, many of us get swept up in the drive to stay constantly busy. We chase after success, climbing ladders, juggling tasks, and filling every moment with something to do, believing that's how we prove our worth. The faster we move, the more we accomplish, the better we feel about ourselves. It becomes easy to fall into this routine, thinking that slowing down means falling behind. And over time, this pursuit of busyness becomes second nature. But as we age, especially when we reach our 70s and beyond, a deeper clarity begins to emerge. We start to see that the relentless pace we once maintained doesn't serve us in the same way anymore. The late nights, the endless to-do lists, the pressure to always be moving, these things no longer bring the same sense of fulfillment. Instead, they drain us, pulling energy away from what truly matters. We begin to realize that much of our busyness was driven by habit, not by passion or purpose. This moment of awareness can be transformative. It's then that we start asking ourselves, why are we so busy? What's the real motivation behind always having something to do? If a task or project doesn't align with our deepest values or lead us towards something meaningful, we can decide to let it go. And when we do, it's as though we lift a weight we didn't even know we were carrying. Letting go of the constant need to stay busy gives us the freedom to rediscover the joy of simply being present, of engaging with life in a more intentional, fulfilling way. We come to understand that true success isn't measured by how many tasks we complete, but by the quality of the moments we experience. We find wealth in spending time with loved ones, in nurturing hobbies that genuinely bring us happiness, and in savoring the quiet moments of rest and reflection that we once overlooked. Each day starts to feel more purposeful, rooted in what truly matters to us. Have we ever paused to ask ourselves why we're always working, always moving, as if productivity alone defines our lives? What would it be like to step back, to release that constant pressure to be doing something? Picture a life where the work we take on is chosen not out of necessity, but out of joy or purpose. By letting go of the need to stay endlessly busy, we open up space for a more peaceful, balanced, and meaningful life. One that finally allows us to breathe and truly live. Number 2. Quitting mindless spending. For years, we may have been caught in the cycle of mindless spending without even realizing how much it was consuming us. Everywhere we turned, the world was sending us messages to buy more, to own more, to chase happiness through the accumulation of things. And like so many others, we may have fallen into that trap, filling our homes with gadgets, clothes, and trinkets that promised fulfillment. But the joy these purchases brought was always temporary, fading away as quickly as it arrived. What were we left with? Cluttered spaces and an unsettling emptiness that no material possession could ever truly fill. As time has passed, a deeper realization starts to sink in. Material possessions, no matter how shiny or new, rarely bring lasting satisfaction. All those things we once bought in the hope of finding contentment, in the end, they hardly mattered. We begin to see that the true wealth in life isn't found in things, but in the experiences we embrace, the relationships we nurture, and the meaningful moments that truly enrich our spirits. That's when a conscious shift becomes necessary. A decision to break free from mindless spending and start choosing with intention. It's no longer about accumulating more, but about focusing on what genuinely adds value to our lives. Perhaps it's the thrill of exploring new places, engaging in experiences that broaden our perspectives, or something as simple as reading a book that expands our minds. This shift isn't just about saving money, although that's certainly a benefit. It's about redirecting our focus away from materialism and onto the things that truly nourish our souls. Once we make this change, something remarkable happens. The pull to shop impulsively starts to lose its grip. We no longer feel the need to fill emotional voids with things we don't need. Instead, we find ourselves appreciating the simplicity of life, discovering the beauty in what we already have, and feeling a deeper sense of contentment. It's a kind of peace that comes from focusing on the non-material aspects of life that genuinely matter. Have we ever bought something on a whim, only to feel that sinking regret afterward? Imagine how much lighter we would feel if we let go of that habit. If we freed ourselves from the need to fill our lives with things that offer only fleeting joy. How would our lives change if we spent with intention, focusing only on what brings true happiness or serves a meaningful purpose? For many, this shift brings a sense of freedom that was once thought unattainable, more clarity, more room to enjoy the things that genuinely matter. Letting go of mindless spending is not just a financial decision. It's a step toward a more liberated way of living. It opens the door to a life filled with richness that can't be bought. A life that's about savoring moments, cherishing relationships, and finding joy in the simplest of things. It's a transformation that leaves us wondering why we didn't make the change sooner. Number 3, letting go of stressing over the small things. There comes a point in life when we realize how much time we've wasted worrying about things that, in the grand scheme of it all, didn't truly matter. When we were younger, it was easy to get caught up in the small irritations, traffic delays that tested our patience, disagreements that lingered longer than they should have, or sudden changes to well-laid plans. These seemingly minor disruptions often felt bigger than they were, slowly piling up until they consumed our thoughts, turning simple moments into sources of constant stress. The energy spent on these things was draining, leaving us anxious and distracted from the joy that existed right in front of us. But as the years pass and we gain wisdom through experience, something shifts in our perspective. Especially as we approach our later years, a moment of clarity arrives when we begin to see things for what they truly are. We start to ask ourselves a simple but profound question. Will this matter a year from now? And more often than not, the answer is no. This question becomes a powerful tool for letting go. We gradually release the grip we once had on the small stuff that used to overwhelm us. It's like shedding a heavy load we didn't even realize we were carrying. Freeing ourselves from the needless burdens that weighed us down for so long. Releasing these little stresses opens the door to a new kind of peace, one rooted in acceptance and clarity. We begin to see that traffic jams will pass, and most arguments are too insignificant to hold on to. The appointments and plans that don't go as expected, they fade into the background soon enough. By choosing to focus on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot, we learn to move through life with a calm and steady mind. Life, with all its unpredictability and imperfections, becomes something to embrace rather than resist. And in that acceptance, we find a deeper sense of peace than we ever thought possible. Imagine how different your life could be if you simply let go of the things you can't control. How much lighter would you feel without the burden of worrying over the small, inconsequential things that clutter your mind? What's one tiny irritation that's been bothering you lately? Something that, if you truly reflect on it, won't matter in the long run. Could you let it go? The act of letting go isn't just freeing. It's transformative. It allows us to redirect our energy toward what really matters, making space for more joy, more presence, and a richer, more meaningful life. Choosing to let go of stressing over the small things is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. It changes not only how we move through life, but also how we experience it. When we stop sweating the small stuff, we discover a sense of freedom, lightness, and contentment. We begin to notice the beauty in the chaos, the peace in the imperfections, and the joy in simply being present. And in that space, life becomes infinitely more rewarding. 4. Prioritizing self-care. In a society that often glorifies constant productivity and self-sacrifice, we may begin to believe that prioritizing our own needs is an act of selfishness. Yet the truth is quite the opposite. Making our well-being a priority is one of the most compassionate things we can do. both for ourselves and for those we cherish. Picture the profound impact we could have on the lives of others if we devoted time to nurture our own health and happiness. What if we committed to carving out moments each day just for ourselves? How transformative would it be if self-care became an unwavering pillar of our daily lives? Embracing self-care can lead to remarkable shifts in our perspectives and experiences. It serves as a constant reminder that we are worthy of the same love, kindness, and attention that we readily extend to others. Self-care is not a luxury reserved for the privileged. It is an essential element of a balanced life. As we weave self-care into our routines, we uncover a profound sense of peace, harmony, and joy that permeates our existence. This dedicated time for ourselves empowers us to engage more fully with our loved ones and pursue the passions that ignite our spirits. Recognizing self-care as a vital expression of self-love allows us to understand its true significance. It is not merely an option. It is a crucial foundation for living a fulfilling and vibrant life. 5. Saying no to overcommitment. Embracing the power of saying no to overcommitment can profoundly impact our well-being and sense of fulfillment. Many of us have found ourselves caught in the cycle of constantly saying yes to every invitation, request, or obligation that crosses our path. Whether it's attending every social gathering, volunteering for multiple projects, or extending ourselves to help friends and family, we often do so with the best of intentions. The desire to support others and avoid disappointment can lead us to fill our calendars to the brim. Yet in doing so, we may unknowingly sacrifice our peace, health, and personal time, becoming overwhelmed by the relentless pace of our lives. The ability to say no becomes a powerful tool that not only enhances our well-being, but also enriches our interactions with others, allowing us to show up fully when it matters most. Do we ever find ourselves grappling with the discomfort of saying no? Are we sometimes overwhelmed by the demands we've placed upon ourselves, feeling the weight of too many commitments? Imagine the freedom we would experience if we chose to say yes only to those opportunities that serve our growth and happiness. Learning to say no is more than a mere act of refusal. It is a gateway to a more intentional and fulfilling life. By prioritizing our time and energy, we gift ourselves the opportunity to rest, reflect, and engage in pursuits that resonate with our true selves. Ultimately, this practice transforms our relationship with ourselves and those around us, fostering deeper connections and a more meaningful existence. 6. Ending unhealthy relationships. Relationships hold immense power in shaping our lives. They influence our perceptions, affect our emotional well-being, and define our experiences. Yet, not all relationships are beneficial. For far too long, we may have found ourselves tethered to connections that fail to honor our worth, that infuse our lives with negativity. Whether these connections stem from friendships, professional ties, or even familial bonds. Driven by a sense of duty or obligation, we often feel compelled to cling to these relationships, even as they leave us feeling emotionally exhausted and anxious. Deep within, we might sense that these relationships are not nourishing our spirits, yet letting go can feel daunting. The fear of solitude looms large, and the idea of disappointing someone we care about can weigh heavily on our hearts. However, when we reach a significant milestone, such as turning 70, we often encounter a profound realization. Life is fleeting, and every moment wasted on those who fail to uplift us is a moment we cannot reclaim. Our time is a precious commodity, and investing it in individuals who deplete our energy not only drains our vitality, but can also inflict lasting emotional harm. The journey of releasing unhealthy relationships is rarely straightforward. It is often accompanied by guilt, confusion, and internal conflict. Yet it can also lead to one of the most liberating experiences of our lives. This isn't about severing ties out of anger or resentment. Rather, it's a conscious decision to prioritize our own well-being. By intentionally redirecting our focus towards those who genuinely care for us, individuals who celebrate our successes and encourage our growth, we open ourselves to a transformative experience. What we may discover through this process is nothing short of enlightening. Releasing toxic connections creates space for deeper, more meaningful relationships to blossom. The burdens of negativity begin to lift, replaced by a newfound sense of peace and clarity. We find ourselves surrounded by those who value us, respect us, and offer unconditional love. Let's take a moment to reflect. Are there individuals in our lives who consistently drain our energy? Have we held on to relationships that no longer nurture our souls? What if we redirected our efforts toward cultivating connections with those who uplift us, rather than persisting in relationships that hold us back? Ending unhealthy relationships is not a matter of cutting people off in a fit of rage. It is about making a deliberate choice to invest in connections that bring joy, love, and unwavering support into our lives. In doing so, we invite a more fulfilling and enriching experience into our journey. 7. Putting our health first. For far too long, many of us have relegated our health to a secondary position, placing the demands of work, family, and the never-ending responsibilities at the forefront. We often reassure ourselves that we will attend to our well-being later, but that elusive later seems to vanish into thin air. It is only when we reach significant milestones, such as turning 70, that we confront a profound realization. Neglecting our health has its consequences. Without our health, even the simplest joys, playing with our grandchildren or savoring a peaceful stroll in nature, start to fade away, slipping through our fingers like a gentle breeze. To begin our journey of transformation, we can initiate small, manageable changes that feel both achievable and rewarding. Imagine stepping outside each morning for a walk, not as a chore or an exercise regime, but as a sacred time to reconnect with ourselves and the world around us. As we swap processed foods for nourishing options, we honor our bodies, providing them with the fuel they truly deserve. Carving out moments for stillness and reflection through practices like meditation enriches not only our mental state but also our emotional well-being, offering us a sanctuary of peace amid life's chaos. These changes extend far beyond mere physical improvements. They create a cascade of positive effects throughout our lives. We may discover clearer thinking, enhanced emotional balance, and an overall sense of well-being that we might have overlooked for far too long. The age-old adage that health is wealth resonates with newfound clarity. In the grand tapestry of life, nothing, be it wealth, success, or accolades, can compare to the priceless feeling of waking up each day imbued with strength, capability, and mental clarity. We open the door to a fuller, richer engagement with life, allowing us to seize opportunities and treasure each moment in all its vibrant glory. Embracing our well-being not only transforms our own lives, but also radiates positivity to those we cherish most. 8. Tackling procrastination on personal goals. Time has a curious way of playing tricks on us. In our youth, it stretches endlessly before us, creating an illusion of boundless opportunity. Yet, before we realize it, years can slip through our fingers like sand, leaving us to ponder where the time has gone. For far too long, we may find ourselves ensnared in the belief that there will always be a later, when we can finally chase our dreams. We become entangled in the daily demands of life, consistently promising ourselves that the future holds ample time to devote to the goals, passions and aspirations we have tucked away in the recesses of our hearts. However, as we reach milestones in our lives, like turning 70, a profound realization often dawns upon us. Later is not a guarantee. This awakening can serve as a pivotal moment, urging us to break free from the cycle of waiting and begin taking intentional steps toward the dreams we have long postponed. We come to understand that we do not want to look back on our lives with a sense of regret, pondering the what-ifs and could-have-beens that haunt our thoughts. Embracing this newfound clarity, we commit ourselves to pursuing our personal goals with both joy and determination. Whether it means acquiring a new skill that has long intrigued us, embarking on that dream vacation we've envisioned for years, or finally finishing that book that has been gathering dust, we recognize the incredible power that resides in the decision to make the present moment the perfect time for action. No more waiting. No more excuses. No more postponing what truly matters to us. The moment we choose to confront procrastination head-on, we often stumble upon something truly magical. Life begins to radiate with renewed purpose and excitement. Each day transforms into an adventure, brimming with opportunities to pursue the endeavors that make our hearts sing. Have we ever considered how often we delay our dreams, comforted by the notion that tomorrow will always be there? What if we collectively decided to abandon the quest for the perfect time and instead began pursuing our goals right now? Even the smallest actions can ignite extraordinary transformations, allowing us to reclaim the vibrant lives we deserve. 9. Embracing change instead of fearing it. For far too long, we allowed fear to keep us anchored in place, wary of the shifting tides of change. The mere thought of anything evolving in our lives felt daunting, compelling us to cling tightly to the familiar, even when we sensed that those comforts no longer nourished our spirits. There's a certain allure to the known, and we often tricked ourselves into believing that staying within our comfort zones was the safest route. Yet, as we enter our 70s, a powerful truth emerges. Change is not only an unavoidable part of life, but also a vital catalyst for growth, renewal, and the revelation of untapped dimensions of ourselves. Rather than resisting change, we can embrace it wholeheartedly. This shift in perspective can be profoundly liberating. Once viewed as something to fear, change can transform into a portal, leading us to new experiences, opportunities, and avenues of self-discovery. Although it may challenge us, the rewards of embracing change are immeasurable. Welcoming it into our lives adds a layer of freedom and adventure we may never have anticipated at this stage of our journey. Each transition, whether grand or subtle, becomes a chance to learn, grow, and explore uncharted territories of possibility. By opening ourselves to change, we invite a richness of experiences we could have scarcely imagined. We can let go of the past and release our grip on what feels safe, moving away from the constraints of fear. Instead, we approach each change with a spirit of curiosity, pondering questions like, what new experiences await me? How can I transform through this? What we often find is that change possesses an extraordinary power to reshape us, frequently leading us to a deeper understanding of who we truly are and infusing our lives with renewed excitement and purpose. Let's consider this. What if we transformed our fear of change into a sense of adventure? What if, instead of resisting the inevitable shifts life presents, we leaned into them with open hearts and minds? Envision the remarkable transformations that could occur if we released our hold on the past and welcomed the boundless potential of the future. Are there changes we've been resisting out of fear? What might unfold if we faced those changes with a sense of curiosity and bravery? This shift in mindset can be nothing short of life-changing. By welcoming change rather than retreating from it, we unlock new realms of joy, growth, and liberation in our lives. So, what is holding us back from embracing this transformative journey? Let us allow change to guide us, teach us, and lead us to a life filled with limitless possibilities. The adventure awaits us. We need only to take that leap of faith. 10. Valuing sleep as a cornerstone of health. Sleep is often one of those aspects of our lives that we tend to overlook, especially when we're younger. We frequently convince ourselves that we can get by on just a few hours here and there, pushing ourselves to stay up late for work commitments, social gatherings, or even the lure of mindless distractions. Many of us have fallen into this trap, sacrificing precious rest without a second thought. As we burn the candle at both ends, we often run on fumes, believing that there is always something more pressing or exciting than sleep. Yet, as we grow older, we begin to realize just how essential sleep is to our overall well-being. We come to understand that without proper rest, our bodies, minds, and spirits struggle to function at their best. Sleep should never be viewed as a luxury. Rather, it is a necessity that plays a critical role in our health. It is during those hours of restorative slumber that our bodies heal, our minds reset, and our spirits recharge. Now we find ourselves placing a higher value on sleep, making it a cornerstone of our health and well-being. We consciously prioritize it above late-night television shows, extending work hours, or endlessly scrolling through our phones. By establishing a calming bedtime routine, we create a sacred space to unwind and ensure that we are getting the quality rest we truly need. Whether it's savoring a warm cup of herbal tea, diving into a good book, or engaging in gentle meditation, these small rituals send a powerful signal to our bodies that it's time to relax, release the stresses of the day, and restore ourselves. The difference this commitment to sleep has made is nothing short of transformative. Waking up feeling refreshed, energized, and clear-headed has become one of the most rewarding changes we can embrace in our lives. We no longer drag ourselves through the day, struggling to function on limited energy. Instead, we rise each morning with a renewed sense of vitality, ready to embrace the possibilities that lie ahead. Sleep has truly revolutionized the way we approach our lives, and we cannot emphasize enough how crucial it is for not only our physical health, but also our mental clarity and emotional balance. So we must ask ourselves, are we getting enough sleep? Let's take a moment to reflect on this important question. How much better could we feel with just a little more rest? How might our moods, energy levels, and even productivity improve if we made sleep a top priority? What is one small change we can incorporate into our bedtime routine that would help us achieve the restful sleep we deserve? For many of us, the simple act of valuing sleep has been life-changing. It has taught us to respect our body's needs and honor the vital importance of rest, paving the way for a full and vibrant life. Today, let us consider winding down a little earlier. Let's turn off the screens, put away our devices, and create a calming evening routine that allows us to fully rest. Your body, mind, and spirit will undoubtedly thank you for it. By prioritizing sleep, we set the stage for a healthier, more fulfilling life, filled with the energy and clarity needed to face whatever comes our way. 11. Letting go of comparisons. In our everyday lives, we often find ourselves falling into the trap of comparison without even realizing it. It is a common tendency to measure our worth against the achievements, appearances, and lifestyles of others. Many of us have spent years engaging in this silent assessment, believing that validation could only be found by stacking ourselves against those around us. Whether it's career accomplishments, personal milestones, or even superficial attributes like physical appearance, We sometimes let the lives of others dictate our self-worth. However, as we reach this new chapter in life, perhaps around the age of 70, everything begins to shift. We might experience a profound revelation that comparison truly is the thief of joy. We come to realize that no amount of measuring ourselves against others will ever lead us to genuine happiness. Instead, this practice only plants seeds of self-doubt, envy, and dissatisfaction within us. It becomes clear that the more we look outward for validation, the more we neglect our own unique journey. Each one of us walks a different path. There is no universal standard for success or happiness. We each have our own timelines, struggles, and victories. By consciously choosing to let go of the need to compare ourselves to others, we discover something far more valuable than outside approval. A deep sense of peace. A wave of contentment washes over us as we begin to appreciate our lives for exactly what they are, rather than constantly wishing they resembled someone else's. This shift in mindset is nothing short of transformative. Freed from the burdensome pressure to measure up, we feel lighter, more liberated, and filled with joy. We come to understand that the life we have lived is enough, more than enough. It is ours, uniquely beautiful in its own right. The energy that once went into futile comparisons is now redirected toward cherishing the small, precious moments that make our lives meaningful. Imagine for a moment what might happen if we collectively stopped comparing ourselves to others. Consider the joy, peace, and contentment that could blossom within us if we focused on our own journeys, celebrating the beauty of our individual paths. How frequently do we find ourselves measuring our lives against someone else's? What profound changes could occur if we shifted that focus inward, choosing instead to honor the person we are, the life we've built, and the unique path we walk. Letting go of comparisons has proven to be one of the most liberating choices we can make. It allows us to embrace our lives, flaws and all, with a sense of pride and gratitude we may not have known we possessed. We stop longing for someone else's life, and instead begin to live fully within our own. So the next time we catch ourselves engaging in comparisons, let us take a moment to pause. Let us remind ourselves that our journey is uniquely ours, and that is exactly how it is meant to be. We might just discover that joy and contentment have been patiently waiting for us all along.